I should notify the meeting that the public participation will happen at 2 o'clock. It does relate to the item that I've declared an interest in, so the Deputy Mayor will be in the chair at that time. But I'd like to now move on to the community funding paper, which we've just accepted onto the agenda. It was put together at very short notice, as you can appreciate, and so some additional work has been done on the wording, probably to give greater clarity, which is to grant delegated authority to the General Manager, Citizen and Community, who I have to say has, her work over the last 2 weeks has been exceptional, and I'm just so incredibly proud of what she has done and her team. I know that she would want her team acknowledged, but she has been outstanding. But to approve grants of up to $25,000 from the Community Resilient and Partnerships Fund, because that is a joint fund with the Ministry of Health, that has already been checked with the Ministry of Health as to whether this is an appropriate use, and they have agreed, yes it is, for eligible community initiatives proposed in response to the 15th March terrorist attack, and delegated authority extends from the 28th of March to the end of the financial year, essentially the 30th of June, and any decisions made under this delegated authority will be discussed with the approval of the Deputy Mayor, the Chairperson of Social Community Housing Committee, and the Chairperson of the Multicultural Subcommittee, and reported to Council on a monthly basis. So that's essentially just to get us through. So, I would like to move that motion, and we can open it up after that. Glenn would like to second it. I think that's appropriate, because then the three that we're delegating some authority to are not part of the moving and the seconding. So are there any questions, any discussion? Yanni, Phil?
Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge our staff for the work that they've done, and I guess it's unfortunate that our city has been through so many different events, but I guess we've learnt so much as we've been through each one. And one of the things we did after the earthquake was making some grants available in a similar way to help deal with some of the more immediate priorities that we were facing as a city. So I think this is an important response. It is part of just being able to respond quickly to those initiatives that need the support. So I just want to acknowledge that and thank staff for bringing this to us. I think it's really important to acknowledge there's been a huge amount of work happening in the local community from a wide range of people, and any assistance that we can provide through staff to just get on and help is really, really critical.
Thank you. Phil?
Thanks, Leanne. I endorse certainly what Councillor Johansson has been saying, and starting with thanking the staff as well from us, and having this report here so quickly. I think we know that some staff have been working right around the clock. There's so much happens is behind the scenes that I think most of our communities don't really realise. It's been huge work, so that is appreciated. And I'm very pleased now that in fact there'll be like a representation from governance involved in supporting the work of the staff and looking at ways we can invest in our communities, because that's what it'll come to, and particularly those people who will be feeling vulnerable after these terrorist attacks. And I'm keen that we can make sure that we find ways that our communities can really connect with each other, and that we can connect with them, so that we all end up being more integrated as a wider community. And I think particularly that we make sure that our Muslim community, they'll be empowered and indeed gain resilience and I'm sure that this funding should address that.
Thank you. Well, I just wanted to add one thing, which is, I know that people sometimes react to that word resilience because of the way that it's used. But the things that we went through after the earthquakes actually enabled a whole range of agencies to work together under a partnership model right from the start, because the relationships were established, they were already working with each other, and it was almost behind the scenes there was an element of we've got this, we know what we're doing, we know who we need to talk to, we know who we can trust, we know who we can delegate to, and that is actually what resilience is. It is about relationships, it's about connected communities, it's about working in partnership and collaboration. So nothing could have really prepared us for what happened on the 15th of March, but actually we were prepared for anything that happened in a way that we wouldn't have been had we not been through the experience of the earthquakes. And from this, and I mentioned it in the resolution, the extraordinary, inspiring leadership of people within our Muslim communities that has come to the fore. We know that they're going to be a big part of the future of our city, and I know that by building resilience, working in partnership right across the board, that this is absolutely the right place for this to be coming from. So I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you.